Good morning, students. How are you? Yes, today classes welcome to you. Yes, I think yesterday you learned about these things, Parliament and elections of the Parliament members, the difference between Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. We learn more information about the Indian Parliament system and Indian government. Today we are going to discuss about most important topic that is called President and Vice Presidents. Once again, today we are going to discuss about important topic like the President of India, what is his powers, how he elect, what is the process of election process of the President of India. We learn today about these things. Now, first of all, I can tell you about President of India. Yes, how President elections took place in our country and what are his qualifications, what are the powers of the President of India, is a real executive of the nation or not, I can explain you today. Listen. President of India. This is our topic today. Do you know how the President of India elected? Listen, already I told you we are under the British rule so many years, so automatically we adopted the democratic government of the British. Yes, there are two types of democracies, form of democracies, that is called a parliamentary form of democracy and the presidential form of democracy. I told simply, I explained you these things yesterday. But India follows only the parliamentary form of democracy because we are under the British rule. Still today, the British introduce or follows the parliamentary form of democracy. Yes, the fundamental characteristic of the parliamentary form of democracy is the president and prime minister and council ministers are there. President, prime minister and council ministers are there. Listen, of course, the parliamentary form of democracy we adopted after independence. The British also the parliamentary form of democracy, but some variation is, some difference is, the president is the king's, Britain is the king's rule, India is president is there. British, it is a hereditary system. The king's rule means what? Hereditary. After death of the king, his son or daughter may come to the throne, that is called as king's rule in Britain. Not like that in India. We have to elect the president. Yes, this is the parliamentary form of democracy. So we have to elect our president because in democracy, every person must elect. The elections are the fundamental characteristics of democratic nations in the world. Yes, now I can explain how to elect President of India and Vice President of India. What are the powers I can tell? Yes, already I told you yesterday, the MPs of Lok Sabha, MLAs of the state assemblies are elected by the people directly. Once again, the members of Lok Sabha, the members of state assemblies, they elected directly by the people. That is called as the universal adult franchise, on the basis of the universal adult franchise. That is, their election is direct election. But what about the president? President election is indirect election. Understand? The President of India, it is indirect election. The Vice President of India also indirect election. How? How the President of India elected indirectly? Yes, it is indirect election. Indirect election. That means the president must be elected by both houses of parliament. That means Rajya Sabha and LS means Lok Sabha in shortcut form. Listen, the President of India elected by the people indirectly. That means the elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and also elected members of state assemblies plus MLAs of all the states. Understand? Do you know? Can understand what is the election process of president? Yes, already I told you in your previous class, as the election commission conduct elections for president and vice president. Here also, according to that, yes, the members of both houses of the parliament, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and also the elected MLAs of all the states, they elect our president. That is the election process of president in our India. So it is called as indirect election. Not like that America. American president elected by the people directly, but not like that India. Indian president elected by the people indirectly, because ours is a parliamentary form of democracy, but America is the presidential form of democracy. That is the difference between the Indian president and American president. Okay, understand? Listen, yes, in our country, if anybody want to become a president of India, some qualifications are there. What are the qualifications to the president to be elected? What are the important qualifications of a president? Listen, if anybody want to be a contestant as a president, these qualifications must. It should be must. The qualification is should be a citizen of India. The first one is citizen of and second qualification must complete 35 years of age. Understand? And the third qualification, he should not do any profitable job in government sector or private sector. Listen, do not get a job in public sector or a private sector. Yes, before going to contest as a president of the nation, he must resign the job. Understand? Yes, it should not the president should not face any crimes against him in his life. So these are the most important qualification of the president of India. That is called as the first of all, the every person, those who are willing to contest as a president of India must have a citizen of India. He must be born in India only. Second one, should be completed 35 years of age. Third one, the president should not do any job, should not do any profitable job either in the public sector or in the private sector. Suppose if he do means automatically he may resign his job and then only he contest as say President of India. These are the important qualification of the President of India. Understand? Yes. One is indirect election. The second one, some qualifications are there. So these are fundamental information about the President of India. Now I can explain the powers of the President of India. Yes, the President has some important powers. These powers may enjoy by the President of India. Now I can explain you about what are the powers of the President of India. Now listen carefully. Powers of the President of India. Okay. There are four kinds of powers are there. There are four kinds of powers are there. That is legislative powers, executive powers, judicial powers, military powers. Other than one more important power that is called as emergency powers. That is called as emergency powers. What is the first important power of the President of India means legislature powers. The second one, executive powers. Third one, judicial powers. And fourth one, military powers. Other than emergency powers. Understand? Once again, the President of India have these kind of powers are there. The first one is called as legislative powers. Second one, executive powers. Third one, judicial powers. Fourth one, military powers. And other than these, emergency powers are there. Listen. Okay, the Indian Constitution given superior powers to President of India, Article 352, Article 356, Article 360. Once again, I can explain later. First, each one I can explain, each of the power. What is called legislature powers? Yes. Listen, first of all, Our constitution makers told in the Constituent Assembly, the president is head of the nation. The entire administration of the nation is run on his name only. But one thing is, president is head of the nation only. He was not a real executive. He was a nominal head of the nation. Understand? The president nominally acted as a head of the nation. Really, the powers are enjoyed by the Prime Minister and his Council Minister. Generally, some constitutional experts and the constitution makers told the President of India represents the nation, does not rule the nation. Understand or not? It's somewhat a difference. You may feel some confused. Listen, yes, the President is head of the nation, no doubt at all. But he was a nominal head of the nation. He was a nominal head of the nation. Yes, he was a nominal. He may act as a nominally, but he must follow the advice of the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. For that only, the President represents the nation. But does not rule the nation. Understand? The president represents the nation, but does not rule the nation. He was a nominal head only. Because simply how to say he was a rubber stamp. President is a rubber stamp. Just a rubber stamp. Yes. Listen, first of all, legislative powers. What is called legislative powers means, already I told you other day, the parliament makes laws. These laws should be implemented, should follow entire the country, I told yesterday, in the lesson. That means, what are the laws which are passed by the parliament? Yes, these laws must be signed by the assent by the president. That means, understand, do you know? Suppose in the parliament may introduce bill. The parliament may introduce bill. Bill, B-I-L-L, bill. Yes. After a long discussion in the both houses of the parliament, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, after discussions, the bill was approved by the parliament. It is called bill. After approval of the parliament, after a long discussion, the bill is sent to near the president for his sign. When the president assent or when the president sign on the bill, then only it can act. The bill changed as a act. Understand or not? Do you understand? What is the difference between bill and act? That means this is called as a legislative powers, means the president must sign on the bills. After the sign of the president only, the bill become an act. Then only the act may implement to the entire nation. What are the bill? What are the bill want to be act? The president's sign is a must. Without the sign of the president, that is not valid. It became a zero value. When it becomes a value, when it becomes an act, when the president sign on the bill, then bill become an act. Otherwise, no value of the bill. Generally, what they told, bill is the rough copy of act. Bill is the rough copy of the act. This is the bill only. It is very valuable. Then the different points are there in this. It may discuss in the parliament, no doubt at all. It is approved by the parliament, no doubt at all. But this bill must be signed by the president only. Without the president sign, that is only bill, it may not be implemented in the nation. So that is called as legislative powers of the president. The second important power of the president is executive powers. The second one is called as executive powers. Yes, the president is executive of the nation. Because of that, I told it first, the entire administration of the nation runs on his name. Yes, what is executive powers? The president has a right to appoint some officials to the country. The president of India appoints some officials to the nation. Example, ambassador to the other nation. Ambassadors. What is called ambassadors means they are the diplomats. They are diplomats. Appointment of ambassadors, the appointment of CAG, Controller and Auditor General, and also Election Commission, okay, COG means Controller, Auditor General, and also Attorney General of India, ATTORNY, Attorney General. Attorney General, EC, Election Commission, and also the Chairman of UPPSC. Like that, Chief Justice of India, CJI. That means Chief Justice of India. Listen carefully. Chief Justice of India and other IAS officers and IPS officers like IAS, IPS and IFS, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service and Indian Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service, not foreign, Indian Forest Service. These are the important appointments made done by the President of India. And again, judicial powers. What is judicial powers means? Appointment of the Chief Justice of India and other judges of Supreme Court of India. Once again, judicial powers means appointment of Chief Justice of India and other judges of Supreme Court of India. That is called as judicial powers. And one more important judicial powers is, yes, at any time the President may need the advice of the Supreme Court or advice of the judges. The court will give advice to the President, but the President may follow the advice of the Supreme Court or not. That is the difference. But he was the powers to appoint judges of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of Supreme Court of India. So these are called judicial powers. Sometimes he has powers to pardon any criminal. Suppose the court verdict to any person as a execution, the president has a right to pardon it. That is called Kshama Bhiksha. That means the punishment may reduce or postpone. So this is called as the powers of the President of India. This is called as judicial powers of President of India. Next one, military powers. Military powers. Yes, what is military powers? The President of India is the supreme commander of three forces of Indian Army. Once again, listen carefully. Military powers. What is military powers? Yes, the President of India is the supreme commander of three forces of India. What are the three forces of India? Yes, Army, Air Force and Navy. Once again, what are the three forces? What are the three forces? Yes, Army, Air Force and Navy. So he was the supreme commander of three forces of Indian Army. So these are called as military powers. Once again, the most important powers of the President of India are: one is legislative powers, second one executive powers, third one judiciary powers, fourth one military powers. Other than these, emergency powers. Listen, in the beginning, very clearly I explained you, the president is a rubber stamp and also nominal head of the country, I told. But these emergency powers make him a dictator of the nation. Once again, understand or not? In the first day, he was a rubber stamp, I told, without any powers. All the decisions are taken by the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers only. He must follow, he must stamp, rubber stamp only. He should accept it. But sometimes, at the time of emergency powers, the Constitution of India make him a supreme. He may use emergency powers, Article 352, Article 356, Article 360. Listen, Article 352, Article 356, Article 360. These three articles are called as, these given a superior powers to President of India. These are called emergency powers of the President of India. So, what about this article? Yes, according to Article 352, yes, the President has a right to impose emergency in the country. National level, the President has a right to impose emergency at the time of war with other nations. At the time of war with other nations and the time of armed rebellion. Understand or not? Article 352 give a tremendous powers to President of India. With this article, the President has a right to impose emergency in the country. At the time of emergency, the fundamental rights was dismissed. No court can take. That is the superior power of President. So it is one of the most important emergency power. Armed rebellion. Armed rebellion, at the time of armed rebellion and at the time of war with other nations. This is called as external disturbance and internal disturbance. Armed rebellion in the country, the revolution took place in the army. It is called as armed rebellion. This is the internal disturbance. War with other nations like China or Pakistan or any other country, with any other country, that is called as external disturbances for the safety of the nation to the people. The president has a right to impose emergency under this article. The second important article, 356, it is also called as a state emergency. In any state of our country, the state has unable to run the government properly because of disturbances and other things. If the president may think the administration is not going smooth in the particular state, immediately the president abolishes the particular government and imposes emergency. That means president rule. President rule in the state. President rule in the state. So this is called as state emergency. That means no government is there, no government is work, no political party rule the nation. Only the governor can rule the nation under the guidance of the President of India. This is called as state emergency. It is most important power of President of India. Because of that, the many states in our country, they are demanding to abolish these 356 article. That means when the President of India was think the administration was not run smoothly in the country, state, automatically he may impose president rule. Last 360, Article 360, the President of India imposed a financial emergency. That means the President has a right to reduce some facilities to the employees. He may reduce the increments. He may reduce some facilities to the employees. When the country's financial status became pick up, until that, according to the 360 article of Indian Constitution, the President has a right to reduce the salaries and some facilities to the employees of our country. This is called as emergency powers. Do you know? First of all I told, the president is a rubber stamp. He has no powers. He was a nominal head of the nation. The president represents the nation, but does not rule the nation, I told. But now I told, with the emergency powers, sometimes because of these powers, the President of India acts as a dictator. The tremendous powers are given to the President of India. So this is called as emergency powers. The Article 352, Article 356, Article 360. These are the most important powers of President of India. So according to this nation emergency, this is the state emergency, this is the financial emergency, simply have to say. So students, I think you have noted down all these points what I explained you in your notebook. It can help you in your previous class, and if you want to be any competitive exams, it can help you highly useful. All the best.